Hello, and welcome to the GEEARS Georgia Early Education Alliance for Ready Students Asset Mapping Tool Querying Tutorial. In this tutorial, we will go over the main querying functions of the Asset Mapping tool. First, will be a short explanation of querying. Next, we will go over the main query criteria, the predefined queries, selecting assets on the map, creating a subset of assets, and then viewing and exporting a table of those assets. For this tutorial, you should already have an understanding of the basic components and functions of the asset mapping tool. Here we're going to go into one particular function of the asset mapping tool known as querying. Querying is simply the selection of a subset of assets based on a single criterion or a set of criteria. That criteria can be anything that is in the data corresponding to the attributes laid out here in the columns. So the row corresponds to the asset, the column corresponds to a characteristic, and by setting a criteria on that characteristic, say we are only wanting to have those assets that are participating in a quality rating, we can then query the assets based on that criteria. I'll minimize the advanced table here. To make this easy, however, the asset mapping tool has a set of predefined queries. They can be accessed on this drop-down menu in the top left-hand side of the screen. If you scroll through here, we can see a variety of queries with the number of records that will be returned for that query statewide. So let's look at Head Start, Early Head Start. So we get the Head Start, Early Head Start. This pulls up 451 records statewide. You can see them mapped in the state of Georgia. If we pull up the advanced table, we can see that subset shown here. Notice the subtype on the right, Head Start, Early Head Start. All of the assets here have either a Head Start or Early Head Start criteria. If we minimize, we can now go one step further and select geographically. So first let's zoom in on a given area. Let's look at Atlanta, moving more closely. Here we can see a closer view of the assets. Now if we only want to select a smaller number here within Atlanta, we choose the selection tool and draw a box around those assets that we're interested in. Pull up the advanced table again. We can see those assets are now highlighted in pink. We have 17 records selected. In order to export those 17 records, we simply right-click and create a subset from the selected records. This gives us those 17 records so that have been defined by the drop-down query as well as by the selection on the map. We then right-click again and we export the table as a CSV. So a CSV is a file format that we can use in Excel to view the table. Before we conclude, show you how to back out of the selection. So we can close this window again. If we right click on the map and we simply click on Show All Records, we have cleared out our query and we now have all of the assets being shown with their various types as the map was when we first started the tool. That's it for the querying tutorial. Thank you and have a nice day.